And we are live.
Yes, we are.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone, to Is Your Six Covered? We've got the infamous
infamous. Thanks for everybody from X-Ring that's joining. I usually do the live streams on Rick's channel. I just keep the live streams off of my channel.
If you guys didn't know, we do a lot of live chats.
Yes, we do.
Let's pop up the old...
Let's check and see if there's anybody in here this evening. Why'd you hit participants?
I don't know. We'll get to that here in a minute. So how's your day? Everything good?
Yeah, busy day.
All right, let's see here.
He's trying to figure it out while we're on the screen. Give us just a second. So tonight's topic is going to be 3-gun match requirements and how to get started. I know you guys might say, wait a minute, this is a long-range channel.
It's not a long-range channel, it's a shooting channel.
It's a shooting channel.
We do a lot of disciplines.
First and foremost. So, yeah, the different disciplines, especially for those that are new to the channel, might be interested in 3-gun, and there are some long-range requirements in 3-gun as well, depending on where you shoot. So while he's getting the comments pulled up, he has lost the side chat, so we can't see any comments at the moment. So give us just a second. What we're going to do is we're going to go over everything with regards to your pistol, your shotgun, your rifle, and what you might want to have as far as gear. So hold on for just a second while he pulls this up, because we don't like to miss any questions.
No, it's going to be a second. For some reason, after I got shut down yesterday on a live stream for no apparent reason, we got some technical difficulties, as we should, I guess.
All right, so we're going to get these chats going. There we go.
All right, we got Talking Rock out there. First place, we got Robert Warren, Red Raider Reloading, Skull, Frankfurt, Steve Healy, Six Creator, 45 Auto, Willard's out there. What's up, Willard? Shaggy Rifleman, John Collins, Big Country's in the house. Pew Pew Peters out there, Orion Fixer, and Mr. C. Beck. All right, well, welcome everybody to the show. We're going to try to figure this out. We'll probably just run it off
as well.
We'll just run it off of Ray's phone.
What's up, Willard? Bravado Racing, Big Country, and everyone. He's already mentioned, man, 3 Kestrels?
Well, this one's going to Australia.
Oh, gotcha.
This one's going to Australia for Tree Filler for helping me out.
Nice.
And those two, better to have 2 than 0.
Right. All right, so we've already got 31 people in here, so we'll talk about 3-gun. My background with 3-gun started a long time ago. For those that are new to the channel, I did a lot of 3-gun back in the day, and kind of got out of it. I did win a national championship in 2018, and so I kind of got out of it afterwards. I don't know if it's just that tick mark was checked, that checklist. I still enjoy it, but then you had all of the ammunition come up where nobody can get it, and now nobody can find shotgun shells.
That's the tough part for
what
everybody.
We're starting to see is 3-gun is just now starting to come back, and what a lot of match directors are doing is they're allocating enough rounds of pistol, rifle, and shotgun for you to be able to shoot the match. So for those that aren't able to get reloading components, because most 3-gunners I know do reload, because your round counts are going to be much higher. Just think shooting a precision rifle match on steroids. So once he gets this back online, which we are off right now, there we go. I used to do 4-gun cowboy action. Nice.
I've never done that.
Yeah,
I've never done that. It looks pretty fun. But
and then Rick, you got into 3-gun about how long ago?
6 years ago.
Oh, we got
say another
3-gunner in the house.
We got Matt P's in the house as well. Kind of got into it. I was shooting just pistol stuff, and then kind of hooked up with Ray, and he's like, "Hey, you should try this." And I was like, "This is a lot of fun, actually."
Now, guys, 3-gun is really the X Games of shooting.
I used to call it the NASCAR of shooting.
Yeah, crash and burn.
Well, what's fun is, and what's good about 3-gun is you got 3 disciplines to try to be good at. You know, There's a lot of people that shoot long range but never shoot a pistol. There's people that shoot only pistol and really don't mess with anything else. And then you got the shotgunners, which is one of the things I used to enjoy a lot. So just kind of, I think the AR platform was probably the thing that took the longest for me, because I used to shoot pistols, I used to shoot shotgun, and then trying to learn the AR was, a new adventure.
Yeah. For most people, it's the shotgun. The shotgun, like Matt said, is going to make or break you.
Everybody.
So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down, and we're going to start with pistol. Okay. We'll start with that. We'll start with the gear requirements and things like that. But before we do, let's check out the shirt, guys. Finally got them back. So these are the X-Ring. Finally did the t-shirts.
Hot off the press.
Worked with 9-Line Apparel, and then this is the 100%. It's the
hold on.
tee.
Okay.
Oh yeah, got to suck it up.
There we go.
Those are available on the website. We have medium, large, extra large, double XL, and triple XL.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Price starts at 22 something and goes up to 24 something depending on the size because of the material they have to use. So glad we're able to offer that, but those are live on the channel now on xringcustoms.com. So pistol. All right.
I started off with a Glock, a G-Lock.
I started off with a G-Lock.
How about you, Matt?
34.
Are you in here?
So Matt is. You know what? I got a little bit of room right here. So Matt's in here. We get all three of us. It'll look like the AT&T.
That's right. We got full bars.
Full bars. But if you're just getting started in it, you don't know how heavy you're going to get into it. There are some people that get into shooting events just to experience it. And then there's that other group of people that just want to go hang out with their friends and, they do it occasionally.
Yep.
Then you have that group that wants to finish at the top, the guys that are really trying to make their way to the prize table, get something good off the prize table. And it shouldn't be about that. But at the same time, some of these entry fees, typically a 3-gun is going to run you anywhere from $60 up to about $350, depending if it's a national level match or regional and how big the prize table is.
And it is a lot of work. The prize tables can be very, very well put together.
Yes, they can. It wasn't far-fetched back in the day to see prize tables that had over $350,000 worth of prizes on there. And me being a former match director and running 3-gun events, it is a lot of work. You don't make much money. Okay. There's so much planning and so many moving parts and pieces to set up stages, well thought out stages. That return is basically help paying the guys, paying their hotels, trying to give them some return.
It's for the love of keeping the sport going.
Correct. Yeah, it's promoting the sport.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the different, I guess, I don't want to say organizations because organizations have come and gone throughout the years. But what you need to know is you're going to have outlaw 3-gun events, and then you might have something that's a sanctioned event with a certain set of rules. Right now, it seems like there's only 2 divisions. They've kind of done away with all the other divisions. Maybe out west, it's a little different, but you're really only going to see, you can always count on these 2 divisions. Open class, which is pretty much run anything. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And then you have TAC Ops, okay? TAC irons used to be in there, used to be decent, and then they would have heavy division, but those are really gone by the wayside.
I don't see any of that.
Most of your major matches, I've got 2 major matches coming up in the next few months, and there's only 2 divisions, open and TAC Ops. We'll talk about the differences in those here in just a minute. We're going to talk about gear, and we'll talk about pistols. So if you're the guy that's just wanting to get into it, probably one of the easiest pistols to obtain to shoot is probably going to be something like a Glock 34 or maybe a Canic or maybe I think
almost all your major manufacturers have some kind of entry level 3-gun pistol.
Correct. You don't want a 3-inch barrel. You don't want your little subcompact. Don't show up with you can shoot it with a Glock 19 or smaller, but that you're just going to be doing yourself disservice.
You can shoot a 365 if you want.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to get into it just to enhance your skills, then it doesn't matter. Just run what you're comfortable with. We'll see if I'm missing any videos.
The biggest thing is if you've never shot a match, spend another $7.32 for what?
Get young Matt a chair.
I got one over there. He didn't
give him a booster seat.
He didn't want to grab it, actually.
What chair?
So caliber, you want to choose 9mm. So for you guys that are USPSA guys, there is no major minor power factor. Okay, there is a true minor, meaning that you still have to have enough power to be able to knock the steels over, and usually the minimum requirement is 9mm. Most of them will not allow 380, 22, anything like that, unless it's just some local club match and they don't really care. But I think it's, 125 power factor?
I think so.
So you can shoot bunny fart loads. They don't care. Okay.
You got to knock the steel over, though.
Yeah. The steel's got to be knocked over. And if you're running, let's say 147 grains and you're running, 3 grains of tight group or something, maybe not. You might have to hit it high on the plate or something. So 9mm is going to be the choice. Now, we're going to have to break this up into divisions because we're going to start with TAC ops first. TAC optics, regardless if you're shooting outlaw or anything else, this is typically going to be the rule set. Your pistol, 9mm, magazine length, it's 140 millimeters, I believe, for most of them. And so that will allow you to run extensions. But I think on 9mm, you're going to be limited to about 21 rounds, 20 to 21 rounds.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
You will not be able to run, a Glock Super Stick mag with 30 rounds.
That'll be open.
That, and it's even open. You can't run anything that long.
Yeah, 170.
Yeah, limits on that. Get you a good front sight. Okay, get you something that's like a fiber optic front sight. Get you something that's adjustable as far as the rears, if you can, but something that's not real chintzy. You will be throwing these pistols quite a bit. If you have something that has, let's say, like the safe action, like a Glock or like a SIG that doesn't have a manual safety, when you abandon it and put it in a dump barrel, you can reholster it many of these matches. But if it does have an active safety, like a thumb safety, it must be engaged before you abandon it. Otherwise, if you go forwards with that, chances are you're going to be DQ'd. So that's the first thing with pistol. If it's just a Glock, like a 34, you can throw it in there, but it's got to stay in there. Okay, we're not pitching it from 5 yards. You want to make sure you set it down in a safe manner. Make sure it can't spin. Typically, abandoned buckets are going to have slant boards in them, and it'll just keep the muzzle down. But I have seen guys throw them in there, they flip around, they'll pop around, or they'll have the muzzle up, and I've actually seen people go home because of that.
Same thing with the barrels for the rifles.
Yeah. What else should we talk about on the pistol?
We can talk a little bit about
magazines,
the holsters, magazines, and
how many magazines do you carry per stage?
Ooh. Depends on how pistol heavy it is, but typically 3. 2
Yep.
to 3.
Yeah.
I always carry 2.
And
that's so I've got basically 42 rounds on my belt, and then you probably have one in the pistol. Many 3-gun events will start pistol hot holstered, okay, or they might have it on the table. Guys, the beauty of 3-gun is if it's a good match, they're not going to say shoot the pistol here, drop it, put the rifle up here, engage your targets, drop it, get your shotgun, and finish up with shotgun. Really good matches are going to let you play to your strengths, and it'll say shooter must start with heels on the starting line, engage targets as they appear. It's birdshot clays, steel, rifle, pistol, certain rifle, certain pistol, or birdshot. Paper.
Slugs. Don't forget slugs.
Paper. We'll get into shotgun and all that in just a minute. But that's the thing. You can shoot paper targets with 1 slug, 2 rifle, or 2 pistol. Clays must be shot with clays in almost all matches. Doesn't matter how good of a pistol shot or rifle shot you are. If it's a clay, it forces you to use the shotgun for that portion. And then steels, pretty much birdshot, no slug on steels, unless it's a slug steel.
Yeah, that'll get you sent home, or you'll be buying new steel.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So it's one of those you need to play to your strengths. There's a lot of guys that I'm going to just be honest here.
Frankfurt.
There's most people that think they're good gunners really get their feelings hurt the first time they go to a 3-gun event.
There's many ways to you got to be really conscientious of muzzle, and you got to be making sure that you don't get DQ'd. That's like the only thing you should be worried about.
No, I mean,
safety and
you should, but I mean, would you agree that most people that go to their first 3-gun event get their feelings hurt very badly?
They get humbled.
Correct.
They get humbled.
And, it doesn't matter how much of an operator you are. And I wanted to bring this up in the topic because I remember back in the day, we didn't see many military guys there. And then about, probably 10 years ago, 11 years ago, what you started seeing was special operations showing up. You started seeing, you know, a lot of SF guys, Delta guys showing up because they realized this was a great way to train. And, you know, initially for most of those guys, they did, you know, decent, but it didn't get to the point where they're at right now. So it's, man, that's a good drawing. And no, you didn't draw that. No. Amber drew that, didn't she?
Yeah.
Amber, the artist.
I'm writing this down for Chris Beck wants a double XL, 2X shirt.
For what? Hey, no, if you go to VOD. Oh, at VOD?
Yeah. He's going to be staying at the house. So.
Oh, gotcha. So it's a great way to train. Regardless, let's say you don't want to be competitive. You just want to go out there and be familiar with your shotgun, rifle, pistol. It is a great way to learn. Learn what your strengths and weaknesses are. Yeah,
definitely. And that's the thing. Like Ray had said, there's people that are very competitive and want to come in the first, you know, top 5 or whatever. Then there's like the casual shooters, and that was me, 3-gun.
Yeah, initially you just went to have fun. That's it.
No, 3-gun, that's kind of still what it is. I just want to go have fun and be proficient with my firearms and make sure I can, you know, utilize the equipment like it's supposed to be used. And I think for most people, that's kind of what it is. So the problem with 3-gun is you're talking 3 different firearms. So you got 3 types of money that needs to be spent. Most people have almost about everything, you know, depending on if they're just getting into firearms, they may not have everything, but most people have a shotgun. Most people have a pistol. Most people probably have an AR, whether it's the greatest and latest for that type of shooting sport, probably not, you know, like the long tubes for the extra rounds and stuff like that. So
now, if you're wanting to be competitive, do not show up with a single stack 9 or a single stack 1911 and think you're going to show anybody what's up.
Or pump,
not going to happen. And I've seen it time and time again, guys. I'm running my 1911. You're going to do so much reloading because most of the stages are very, very round count intensive. It's not the way to go. If you're just going for practice, great. But what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up doing so many reloads and taking so much time with that 1911. You're probably going to time out and never get to the 3rd gun. Now, they're really long stages. For those of you guys that do USPSA or IDPA, you know, typical match, a stage might run you anywhere from short being, you know, 15 seconds up to maybe 50 seconds. And that's considered a long stage. That wouldn't even be considered one portion of a stage in 3-gun. A lot of your 3-gun events are going to be 120 seconds, 240 seconds. On the timeouts. But remember, if you don't get to the last 10 rifle targets, not only do you get misses on those rifle targets, you also get failure to engages on those 10 targets, and you can't recover from that. If you don't care about the scores, then no big deal. But like I said, you do want to see how you're going to finish, and you're never going to be able to get to those other platforms if you show up with the wrong thing. I have shot some 3-gun events with a pump shotgun, but you're going to be at a huge disadvantage. Huge. Don't do it unless you have to, and that's the only thing you have. And in that case, just go. Another thing I've seen is a lot of guys that show up with pump shotguns do not have interchangeable chokes or can change their chokes out. And I've seen guys just unload on steels, and the steels are just laughing at them because they're at 20 yards. They're using... I don't want to get into the shotgun talk just yet, but that's not the right tool for the job. Okay. It's like trying to drive in a gutter spike with a finishing hammer.
It's not the choke for the job.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start off with, before we get into the pistol, which we're going to get into, we're going to talk about the belts. You guys know what this is. If you haven't seen one, this is a Safariland ELS. Okay. The belt itself is not that expensive, and almost everyone I know runs an ELS like this. And you guys might say, well, don't you always run like a battle belt?
Not
in 3-gun, you're not going to be able to do that.
That's what I was going to say. That you got to have the right gear for the job.
Yeah, right gear for the job. So Safariland ELS, it has a hook fastener on the inside, so you'll wear the Velcro belt. You'll put it on rather tight.
They're inner belts right there.
Yeah, inner belts right here. So you'll put this on first, make sure it goes through your belt loops, and then once you put it on, then this sticks around it. Okay.
You could still run keepers if you wanted here and there.
Yep. Now,
you won't need to.
The ELS does not come with this.
Anther, I'm gonna get to those here in a couple of minutes. I'll show you the hats, I promise.
Think about this as like a ski boot buckle. This is made by Carbon Arms. And what it is, the ELS belt, I've actually cut off the tabs here. I think
I have one still.
Okay, Rick actually has the conventional ELS, the way it comes. And when you pull this off, what you have are these two
Pins.
silver pins, these studs, okay? And so what you're going to try to do, and this is usually going to be behind your back, so this is the first thing we want to talk about is real estate.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Because you're always having, hey, buddy, can you come over here
I
and
pull a
buckle me?
muscle every time I try to do
That's
that.
me at all. Hey, Ray, do you mind hooking this on?
So guys, when you wear a belt, I know the black contrasts very badly. Do not put your cinch, the studs up here. Don't put anything up front because this is going to be unusable space and you're going to need as much real estate as you can get. So in my case, and in most people's case, what they're going to do, just a moment. What you're going to do is run all of the cinching mechanism in the back, okay? So what this enables me to do, guys, is you see all those ELS forks, okay? You can place them wherever you want on the belt. You can place them high, you can place them low. You guys might say, well, I would never carry my rifle mag that far forwards. Well, the beauty of this is depending on what the stage setup is, you have the forks that will slide in any of these positions, depending on if you have a lot of rifle, pistol, or shotgun. So what you're looking for is something that's very configurable to be able to place what you need where you need it. I do run the G-code holster. I've seen more people go home because they lose their pistol. And you guys might say, well, you know what? I run my Safariland whatever in USPSA competition. I never have a problem with it.
That's because you have it.
You're managing one firearm.
You have it in your hand.
So when it takes off, you either have it in your hands or you have your hand on it. But now you're trying to manage possibly a slung rifle, starting with a shotgun with a pistol on the side. If it comes out and hits the ground, that's it. You're going home. You don't get a refund on your money.
That's right.
And that's actually happened to Matt.
And you got to go to Dairy Queen after.
Matt didn't have a hood down on one, and the friction retention, I just don't think it's good enough.
No, I took off running and it went flying.
Yeah, it came out
It shot
because
right
the
out
hood
of it.
wasn't on. And that was actually the first or second stage of the match.
Yeah, that was before the G-code one with it was the old style hood.
Yes.
Retention.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't close over.
Yeah, it wouldn't close over.
Now, Matt is a very, very competent three-gunner, no doubt. I've shot a lot of matches with him. It happens to the best of everybody. I mean, you'll go home if that pistol comes out or if your shotgun hits the ground or if you break a sling, something like that. So you want retention, some kind of really good retention on that holster. So that's the belt. Now, what goes on this belt? In my case, the magazine holders, I use a single hold Safariland.
You can
okay?
stack those two.
Go ahead and plan on a month out before you get these because they're made to order. You can't just go online and buy them usually if you buy them directly from Safariland. And I like to run the singles. I have a representation of a double. If I brought it, it's usually in my 3-gun bag here.
Oh, you brought the works,
I just brought my 3-gun bag.
which is the works.
Mine's in the trailer.
So this is a double. So basically it's two singles that are sandwiched on top of each other so I can run a 30 and a 30. Guys, the problem with this is when you have 60 rounds on this, they flop out. It's so much weight, and when you're running, they'll do this. I'm not a big fan of this, but I do have it as a just in case. I was shooting a regional level match a couple years ago, and it was close to 90 rounds on one stage. And remember, you're always +1. If you only need 2 mags, carry 3. If you need 3 mags, carry 4.
Yeah,
because you might have a yard sale when you're running or sliding through a pipe or doing whatever it is you're doing.
Oh,
That's usually the
Yeah,
You
go
gotta
ahead and
go.
figure 20% attrition on your shotgun shells because they want you to lose them.
You're all bye.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Hold on. Let's catch up.
Baldwin Curious says the Safariland GLS is a great 2-gun pistol holster and fits 100-something pistols. Actually, I do have one of those, and it is a good option if you're going to be swapping over all the time. I know Baldwin Curious, he likes to, go from this pistol to that pistol kind of deal. I'm trying to stick. My biggest way, I think, in my head anyways, is get good with that one gun.
Yeah.
That one gun, most people wouldn't go drag it to Wyoming and throw it in the dirt and the mud, but it's a tool. and
Maintain it.
Whether it's
and use it as such.
however much it is, but yeah, just get used to using the one pistol. I think.
Yeah, Frank, can you use a Remington 1100 for your shotgun? You absolutely can. I actually have a Remington 1100. I know exactly what you're talking about. However, unless you can get magazine tube extensions for that shotgun, you're going to be severely disadvantaged. Bald says, or Val says, isn't there a division for pump shotgun? There used to be,
yeah,
and there probably still is, but you're seeing those go away. Right now, there's only 2 divisions in most major matches.
See, heavy, we should tell them what heavy was. You used to have to shoot a 45 and a pump shotgun.
And a 308
yeah,
or
308.
Larger caliber.
Yeah.
But the problem is they would have a major event with 300 plus competitors, and there would be 4 competitors shooting in heavy division. So it died. And then they said, you know what? We'll allow a heavy division to use a semi-automatic shotgun. And then it started coming back up again to like 10 people a match. And then it died again. Heavy division is dead.
Yeah, it was even dead almost. Well, I remember starting out and there was still heavy division, and there was only like a few people shooting.
Tack irons, which is what I shot a lot of, shooting a dot only. That was decent, but it will never, ever touch the numbers that Tack Ops has. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Tack irons used to be bigger than open, but since then open's taken over, and now you're just seeing open and Tack Ops. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get caught up here.
If there was 300 shooters, 200 of them easy were shooting Tack Ops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
that was where all the racers were at, basically.
Pistol holders. These are Safari Lands, and they make them in different heights. Make sure you get one that's magazine holder. And so this right here would work for like my 2011s, or whether you have a Glock or whatever. They do have rollers on them. They're allowed in 3-gun. It's not all rules strict like on some of the USPSA where you can't have rollers and your pistol has to be right on your hip. If you want to wear your pistol kind of towards the front, they don't really care, which is kind of cool because the whole rule thing, I've got to have this much and a drop offset and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's got to be this many inches below your mainline belt.
So if it's really pistol intensive, I might have 3 of these suckers on here. Okay. Now, honestly, if it's going to be pistol intensive and I needed one in my pistol itself, and let's say I needed 3 holders and it was just primarily a shotgun pistol stage, I might have a setup like this with 3 pistol magazines on the front and then a shotgun holder, regardless of what kind you're using, kind of like this. Okay. And this will hold 8. I could also, the way that this was set up, have another 8, whether you have it vertically like this. These are movable. Like I said, you can configure the belt however you need to do.
The thing is that belt is set up where you, depending on what the stage is requiring.
Yep.
If it's heavy in rifle or heavy in shotgun or heavy in pistol, you have a lot of options.
Yeah.
And it's not like you have to slide all these out of your belt and then slide what you need in because you have, I don't know, like a.
It's just a quick change. And I've never lost one through an ELS fork. Have you?
No.
They hold them in well.
I even ran a pistol off of the ELS, which isn't the greatest idea.
You can run, you guys, if you're going to run your holster that way, they make what they call a QLS fork. Use that. That's actually made for duty use.
Yeah, that's the way.
Don't try to use one of these little ELS forks for your pistol. Eventually, you're going to have a problem. So that being said, you can run magazine wells. You can have a dead grip safety on a 2011 style as long as the thumb safety works. Okay. So anything else we need to talk about the pistol? There's no minimum trigger weight. I mean, it's just run what you brung.
Yeah.
Be careful
unless you throw an optic on there.
Yeah, don't throw an optic on there.
Then you go straight into open.
You could go straight into open. There have been some 3-guns allowing their outlaw matches usually where they allow a red dot, but most don't. Most of them are going to throw you straight into open because they say it's a huge advantage, which it is. So pistol done.
Rick likes to pole vault with his long gun. Just so you guys know, last nationals in Florida, I was running and slipped and stuck my rifle into the mud.
Yeah.
Stuff happens when you're trying to do decent.
Frank Furr, I'm going to answer that question last, but we will get into how many rounds you should hold in your shotgun. Because shotgun is the one that we're going to have to spend the most time on because there's a lot to know about it, even though it sounds simple. Let's talk about your AR next. Now, Rick, you've got your new setup right there.
It's not that is a 3-gun I've been shooting ever since I started. It's nothing fancy. It is a carbon fiber rear stock. It's a Geisley handguard. And
Noveske
no,
handguard.
Noveske, that's right. And then that's how much I've shot 3-gun in a while.
Don't act like you're touching.
Oh yeah. It's got the Razor 1 to 10 on it that I just got. I actually need to zero it in still. So big shout out to Vortex for sending that over. And
You're going to want a muzzle brake, a good muzzle brake for recoil control or mitigation.
I got 45 offset irons sights in case something happens. And other than that,
It's for that.
I don't even know what trigger I have in that thing right now. Actually, I'm going to swap that out because I got a trigger tech that I'm going to throw in it.
Okay, so rifles. One of the questions we might get is there a limit on magnification and tac ops? No, there isn't. We'll get into that in just a minute. So tac ops, you're allowed to have one magnified optic, okay? You cannot run an offset RMR in conjunction with your LVPO.
Open class.
LPVO. That's going to immediately throw you into open. You can have irons on there or backup irons or offset irons, but you cannot have a dot and a scope or a scope and another scope or 2 dots. It's actually 2 dots would be okay. But maybe it might throw you into open. Either way.
You never know.
Yeah, either way.
What would you have it on both sides?
Barrel length doesn't really matter. A lot of guys will run 14.5s, with a pin and welded muzzle brake. Some guys will run 16s, some will run 18s, and I've seen some guys run 20s.
Well, let's talk about distances that you'll notice.
Depends on where they're shooting.
Exactly. So if you're going to a place that has really tight bays, more than likely you're not going to shoot out very far. If you go to some of these matches out here, on the East Coast, you could be shooting 400
plus 400 to 500 yards.
So,
and they're not large targets either. A lot of them are going to be like 10 and 12-inch circles.
If Ray puts a match on, you're going to be shooting nickels at 1,000 yards.
No, it's not that bad. I only run an 18-inch barrel. That's what I've always ran. I like it. You guys talk about how much slower it is on transitioning from target to target. I don't think it's that much slower where it matters. I'm probably going to lose that much time sliding my foot leaving the start line. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So on the rifle, I would recommend getting a good trigger. Don't go over there with a combat, service grade trigger. It doesn't have to be a Trigger Tech 2-stage diamond or anything like that, but you do want a decent trigger.
Yeah.
Whether you're going with, I don't know, I'm not going to throw them all out there, but make sure you're not getting a trigger that can double on you when you don't want it to, especially in slow fire. If you start doubling or sending rounds off when you're not ready to send them
That'll
off,
send you home.
That'll send you home as well.
Open class.
Open class.
Open class.
It's the answer for everything. Open class.
That's right.
So
full auto, open class.
So upgrade the trigger. That'd be a good one. As far as an optic, I'm going to tell you what my personal experience has been. I did have this Vortex, not this one, but I had the Vortex 1 to 10, and it's a great optic. Got that when it first came out. Also ran the ATACR and the NXS 1 to 8 by Night Force. And I have personally come up to the conclusion that I don't care for LPVOs that go above 6 power. That's all I need. The problem...
You're talking from the guy that used to shoot dots.
Correct.
At 400 yards.
Okay, so this is the problem that I've seen. And I think the manufacturers, it doesn't matter if I'm speaking out of term, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. When this game first came on and the low power variable optics came out, they were all 1 to 4s, and they worked great. You could have it on 1, you could keep both eyes open. It was just like a dot. You could put it on 4. Everything was still focused and it was clear, no issues whatsoever. Don't show up with an ACOG. You could do it with an ACOG, but you're going to have a hard time on close targets. You can train yourself, but you got to train a lot.
They always
you don't see people shooting ACOGs.
They'll throw close range targets in and then
there's going to be a ton of close stuff.
Yeah. So 1 to 4s work great. Then they came out with the 1 to 6s, and 1 to 6s worked great. One of the best scopes I ever ran in a 1 to 6 was the Swarovski, the Z6i. And it was the cat's meow, still is. Yeah. A lot of people upgraded their 1-6s to 1-8s, even the Swaro guys, and they noticed something. And it was the same thing that I noticed, and it's what I noticed with this and the Attacker. None of these have parallax. So when you have a perfectly clear, both eyes open, 1 power, and I've got a bright daylight, bright dot, and I throw it over to 8, it's now out of focus, okay? It's not much, but it's slightly out of focus. And if you get that crystal clear using the eyepiece, then when you throw it on 1, now you're getting a little wobble effect, okay? You guys might say, well, you're making much ado about nothing, but to me it matters. I would rather go down in power, have crystal clear from 1 all the way to 6. And that was my biggest complaint with this one, the 1-10, and also in the Attacker. And we're not talking about low-end scopes. We're talking about $2,000 optics here.
Yeah.
But the minute you try it, and you don't need that kind of power, guys. I mean, you shoot long range. I mean, back in the day, I mean, Marine Corps, scout snipers were using 10 power fixed and, shooting crazy distances. You don't need it for 3-gun. I think 6 is plenty enough. Is it nice to have a little bit extra power? It's nice, but only if you're shooting paper for groups.
Well, see, and my thoughts on this, because I remember you saying this before. So when I had ordered this one, I ordered with the mil radian reticle in it.
Yep.
And how I perceive it is the dot is the dot, right? I keep it pretty dim. Now remember, I haven't had a chance to really play with this because I haven't even zeroed it. But the dot is the dot. So up close stuff, you put the red dot on the target and you start squeezing. Now all of a sudden I got to shoot a 400-yard target. If I change the ocular where I can see the reticle at say 8 power, very nice. You know what I mean? Where I can read the lines, where I really need it.
Yeah.
As I power up, that's nice and crystal clear. When I bring it back down, all I'm worried about is the dot. The rest of it's just back there. And
but you still
in my mind, when I want to power up, no, I really. If the red dot's on, if I'm using it as a red dot,
yep,
like I would that one or like a crossfire here,
yep,
and I'm shooting it like a red dot, and then all of a sudden, I got a target that's 400 yards. I crank up the power, and now I can see reticle.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. When that paper is 15 to 30 yards, and Willard, yes, that'll be perfect to shoot in a match. But it's when you get that intermediate range of an 80 to 100-yard target where you don't need the power, where everybody wants to power up, and then you start losing steals and losing everything else, and you're on that 1 power, you're not using it as a dot. You are using it as a true scope at that point, and everything's blurry. And it's not just my eyes, guys. There's a lot of guys that, hey, look at this. All right, get it clear. All right, is it good? Yep, yeah, everything's good. Now put it on 10. Oh, dude, it's fuzzy. It's something that I've noticed with all the 1-8s and all the 1-10s, and it's something that's really hard to do with the space that's within the scope. I've talked to a lot of scope engineers as well as manufacturers about it, and it's tough. Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. The one thing I noticed that I liked on the Vortex over some of the other ones is you don't really see the tube. I mean, it's very thin.
Correct.
Like
the 1-6. Guys, I probably had 6 or 7 of the Vortex Razor HD 1-6.
You don't see it.
One of the best 3-gun scopes you could ever purchase. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, hands down.
It disappears. You see no edge. And the 1-10 does a good job of that as well. And the eye relief is unbelievable on the 1-6s, but that's still one of the best scopes ever made. Yeah, very robust. I've never seen one of those go down. It has a daytime bright dot. So just get something, make sure you've got daytime illumination on that dot. Like if you're shooting directly into the sun and it's just bearing down on you, you've got enough to where it's just bright and you've got that bright red dot. Anything else you want to add about the optics?
No, but I ran dot.
Go ahead and do what you've got to do about the hats.
I got to do the commercial
break.
I told a certain individual I'd show him the hats. So
after these messages,
these are the large ones. These are large, extra large. So you got this model here. This is the waterproof. It's got the I can't even think.
SPF
Flex,
50.
yeah, the XPF 50. Here's the precision long range. This is like a lighter blue. This light's kind of blowing it out. That's also
it's like a Carolina blue.
Kind of a green. Precision long range.
You going out?
Sorry.
Yeah.
This one is also the SPF. This is grays, black and grays. And then if you're a small hat, small, medium size. Oops. Then we got these ones. These are all small, mediums. This is the blue with the logo. Same hats, just different. These are the black ones. This is the one the gentleman had commented on. These are the precision long range social distancing. And I got those in green and one in black and gray. And then if you are, if you're a floppy dad hat kind of dude, which a lot of people like them, this is the a red and a gray. And then also I got two of these. This is the logo. These ones actually have the sweat guard in them. You'll see them in there. Hats are $21, $21 and $5 to ship. So basically $26 shipped, unless you live out of country, which has been the case on a few. And that hopefully is it. So if you're interested, I do PayPal, and it's Isyour6covered@gmail.com. So that certain individual that was out there, those are the hats that I have available. The one you saw in the video was very close to that one, but it's basically the black one. The black ones that you saw, those were in small, medium. Hopefully that helps. So appreciate everybody showing up so far. We got 44 thumbs ups, and let's get out here and say hi to everybody. 26 a hat. Good. That's a lot of money. Yep, that's it. It's $21 for the hats, $5 for shipping. Hit thumbs up, folks. What's up, Joaquin? See, pick me up a medium, and I'll pick up. Yeah. Actually, Willard already paid for one, and I was going to give him one at VOD. Did you figure out which one you wanted? And if so, I'll grab it and put it aside. Oh, I like the old school 6 with the circle around it, if possible. There's a few of those, my man. Let's see here. I guess there's the blue one, Willard. Is that the one you want? I'll set it aside for you. If it's not, I'll swap it out. Hell, I'll just bring the box. You can pick it at the match. Okay, so I'm too blind. For 6 to 8 works a lot better for me. Yeah, I like having the power, especially some of those matches. I was running this Strike Eagle. This is a 1 to 8. Great reticle. This has a BDC reticle in it. And the problem with this one is it didn't really line up well for distances. It has 1, 2, 3. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines in it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, and of course not. But it was great for close-up stuff when you're running around hosing targets up close. But when you needed to get into like 400, 450, it was a little tough. The hats are good. They're well built. Yeah, Joaquin's bought quite a few hats. Let's see here. Come on, Bald. If I had your money, I'd burn mine. I love people that comment that. It's funny as hell. Let's see here. Andrew's got his shooting USPSA limited tomorrow. Well, good luck, Andrew. Hopefully you're doing well. Kick some butt, my man. See, on the AR, I have Spike's Tactical 16-inch break with primary arms 1 to 8. Yeah, that worked great. Love you guys, but this is boring to me since it has nothing to do with us over here.
Who's that, Otter?
Yeah.
I figured.
No 3-gun for Otter. Isn't there a limit on magnification? Nope.
No.
Just got done prepping my rifle for tomorrow, Andrew says. I wasn't shooting. USPSA what?
It's just carbine match.
Carbine.
Just carbine match.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about going up there and joining them just because I didn't have anything to do for tomorrow, but it is 7.5 hours away, so won't be making that one.
Yeah, Bolton Curious brought up a great point, though. The Safari Land usually has a 20 to 40% off like a couple times in the year.
Yep.
And that is a huge savings when you go to buy a belt, all the different gizmo gadgets, a holster, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Saves a lot of money. So, Anther Castillo, hopefully you got a chance to see those hats. And hopefully you're still out there. Let's see. Thomas is out there. Have you checked the comments from the data entry video? I have not, Thomas. Hats are good. So I think we're caught up. I think we might be caught up. Andy Nelson's out there.
Ooh, I see Willard and Joaquin.
Yeah, Talking Rock says Vortex has a scope model that will fit most budgets. And Talking Rock, you're exactly right. There's a lot of manufacturers now that offer good 1-4s and 1-6s without breaking the bank. You have everyone from Primary Arms to, Burris to even Loophole. I mean, they did ones like a Fire Dot or something like that. That was like a 1-6. Everyone's got a 1-6 that's budget conscious. You look at Steiner. They've got a really high end. The M8 XI and then or IX or whatever it's called. That's like military grade. That's like $2,000, and then they offer the TX line or so whatever it is. That's like 1-4. So anyway, continuing on. As far as muzzle brakes, you do want something on your AR. This one, I think that's old school. That's old school. It might be like a Benny Cooley brake or something like that, or a JM brake. You can get a brake anywhere from $30. Everybody off to the side is going to hate you, but it does make a difference. Play around with it. If you have one, it doesn't mean, and this is very important, guys, you don't always want it completely flat at 3 and 9. You can time them. Typically, if you're a right-handed shooter, somewhere around that 12:30 to 1 o'clock position will help mitigate it from when you're doing double taps very quickly from climbing up one direction or another because of the twist on the barrel. It does make a difference. If you're OCD and you just want it on there at 3 and 9 for the side ports, then so be it. But
I think the best bang for the buck, the
SJC Titan. Yeah. I like that.
Everyone's going to hate you, but it's hands down probably the best brake.
Yeah, I've been running the SJC Titan for years. Ultradyne also makes a good one. There's a lot of great brakes out there. Be careful finding or buying the tunable one that you can take Allen keys and kind of adjust where the gas is, because what ends up happening is they end up building up with carbon. You can never get them out. It's just a pain in the butt. You don't need all of that. Just keep it simple. Just like a 3-chamber brake, you should be good to go.
Yeah, we run the nitrous brakes, right, from Lancer.
No, I'm running pretty much nothing but SJCs on mine.
Oh, you switched over.
Yeah, I switched over last year to the Pro Comp with Cobalt. Actually, you know what? Give me just a second. Let me do one thing. Give me 30 seconds or less.
Get the nice drywall look.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you have the thing with you.
Oh, yeah. So here we go. So because of the surviving man, I was able to get hooked back up with the new owners of Cobalt Kinetics. So I'll be shooting this for the 3-gun season this year. This is the BAMF, the BAMF, the billet aluminum modular firearm. They're pretty much custom made. This does have a 18-inch proof barrel, and it does have the Pro Comp on there. So looking forward to that. Yeah, that's a 6-port brake.
12 ports total.
It's going to be really loud, but really looking forward to shooting that. A lot of you guys might say, well, why are you running the carbon fiber? Well, because I'm running the 18 inches, I don't need a full heavy, and I'm not going to be going full auto with the thing, so it'll handle the heat without any problems. Big shout out to Proof and Cobalt Kinetics for that. I was listening with my phone under the pillow, and it sounded like Rick and Ray were downstairs neighbors. So creepy. I hear you. Talking Rock says 51T, 51 tooth is what he's talking about. Spikes Tactile makes some really good brakes, in my opinion. Okay. Guys, there's a lot of really good brakes. Andrew says the Burris MTAC. The MTAC is not bad. I've played around with a lot of the MTACs back in the day. They used to make a really good optic called the XTR. They no longer make that one. The MTAC can be a little fat on the center dot, though, for your precision long range targets. That's the only downside about that. Be careful with your reticle choices on them. Second focal plane is actually my first choice for 3-gun, believe it or not. All right. Everybody's like, what? What to goodness?
Did he just say that?
Yeah, I did say it. I did say it because you'll find yourself either on 1 or max power. So your holds are going to work. You're going to be slinging that lever over one way or the other. You're rarely going to find yourself on 2.7 to where the holds aren't going to work right. If you need that type of magnification, especially with something that's a 1:4, 1:6, you can see the reticle a lot clearer on a second focal plane. Everything just pops a little better. There's nothing wrong with the first focal plane, but I think for 3-gun, I think my preference is going to be, call me old school, but I think my preference is going to be for sure to go with second focal plane. Anything else we need to cover on the rifle? You do want some sling attach points because some matches will have mandatory sling stages. You don't see it all the time, and they usually make sure that is known when you sign up for it. But you want to make sure you have a good place to attach slings.
Do you want to go over, like, I'm sure they all know, rifle length gas, mid length, what seems to shoot softer, and
yeah. So guys, we never really get into rifle builds and all of that, but we want to talk about recoil impulse on an AR because you'll be running it fast, really fast. You'll be double tapping every target, and the way it works, can I see this for just a minute? Yeah. We're going to pretend this is your target that you're shooting at. Okay, this is not USPSA to where you need 2 alphas in the center. Basically, it's 1 in the center or 2 anywhere. I mean, you could shoot them twice in the upper pelvic girdle, and it doesn't matter. As long as you have 2 rounds that break the perforation, then the target is neutralized, okay? Because there is a failure to neutralize target, or FTN, which is a penalty. Literally, if you're in a bay, you should be shooting this as fast as you can double tap a trigger, okay? Your cadence should not be, we're talking 15, 20 yards. It should not be pow, 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 pow. I mean, you can do that. What I try to do, especially when I'm working on training someone, is see how fast they can possibly shoot and still keep the rounds on the target, on the paper, anywhere. So your cadence really should be more of a pow, okay? It's almost like that second shot, because of the break, is if it's effective, your second shot should be within that paper zone, within still, the A zone or so. Now, as it gets further, you're going to want to slow that down, but typically, because of reset times, if the targets are that far out, you're not going to be pasting that far out, so they'll have steels out there, and then your cadence might be a little slower. It's usually 1 hit on steel. But in the bays, you're running that trigger. That's why you want a good trigger. Anything you want to add to that?
No. Rifle length gas seems to work very well with that. Okay,
so there are a lot of different barrel lengths, and you're going to have different gas tube lengths. You guys probably all know that. You've got carbine length, you've got mid length, you've got rifle length. All of those will result in a different recoil impulse or felt recoil. Now, we've talked about this before on adjustable gas blocks, adjustable buffer springs. It's almost like you can end up having too much adjustability, because if you tune the buffer spring for the recoil and you're looking for that perfect, 4 o'clock ejection or whatever, and then you go up here and you start monkeying with your gas. And what I typically see with adjustable gas blocks after years and years of doing this is guys try to tone down the gas so that it'll just lock the bolt back. Well, as that fouls, and over time, you're already shaking your head, you know where this is going. What's going to happen is you're going to start building up carbon in that adjustable gas block, and you're going to get less and less gas, and you're going to end up having a single shot AR. I've seen it time and time again.
Well, if I'm running an adjustable block, and we've done this before, we'll find that point where it ejects the round, the bolt will lock to the rear,
to the true rear,
but then we'll dial it another maybe 2 clicks from there,
or another quarter half turn.
Yeah, and that way we know we're never going to short stroke the gun and cause a misfeed or a malfunction of any.
And this is where the people start laughing and saying, "Well, dude, how much recoil you got in a 5.56?" You just have to understand that at the top levels, you're shooting so fast on these things. Your double tap should really almost feel and sound like a shot.
I don't even know if you can call it, like, is it even recoil or is it even just
flat? You're just trying to keep it flat.
Like with 22s, if we're shooting prone, we're position, everything.
Yep.
You snap the trigger, it does jump about 1/10, 2/10.
Correct.
Maybe. They all have a little bit of slight tick, but when you're shooting as fast as you want to shoot, flat.
Yeah. So, because you got to think, guys, you might on one stage have, maybe 12 paper targets as you're moving, down a corridor, hallway, in a building, whatever the case is, and you're trying to just transition and move as fast as you can while you're double tapping these, every little bit's going to start climbing more. And you got to be careful that you don't overswing on a target, because what you're going to start doing is if you're moving left to right with your shot, you're going to have boom, boom. Okay. And what'll happen is you'll end up losing one of those rounds off to the side that you're transitioning, because you've got that momentum of the barrel as you're trying to tap.
Are those 5 seconds, Phil, you're going to gauge?
It depends on the group you're shooting with.
I can't remember.
So be careful that I'm not going to say you're going to lead it, but if you're moving that fast, you're actually going to shoot towards the back of the target. Make sure your back hits here, because you're giving yourself more usable sweep, basically, because it's 2 anywhere. I don't care if they're in the center. I don't care if it's here and over here, but I want to make sure that as I'm moving that way that I've got those 2 impacts on the target. Anything else on the rifle you can think of that's important? So one of the reasons why I prefer the 18 inches is to be able to go with a rifle length gas, because it is one of the softest recoil impulses, and you still have good reliability. You have these stretch 16s that are running rifle length gas, and it's a short 16 inch. That's up to you, but I do prefer either mid length or rifle length. I don't do much carbine length.
No.
Let's talk about this, because a lot of guys will spend a ton of money into these ultra light and bolt carrier groups.
Oh, geez, here we go.
And, guys running aluminum bolts, bolt carrier groups, titanium, all this other stuff. Does it matter on your lock time and everything else? You know what? I don't know if you'll ever notice it. And
no, but if you're running a skeletonized upper, lower, everything, and all of a sudden, like, we've messed with a couple. I don't want to name any names, but
things can happen. But at the same time, F1 firearms, I know Brady and Luke and those guys run the heck out of their rifles and pistols and everything else. And they work. They don't have any issues, but just be careful trying to accessorize it too much. You still want 100% reliability. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of like the RCA bolts. Rubber City Armory makes great bolt carrier groups, but Matt's actually broken one. Mm-hmm. It will happen over time. You need to inspect your equipment, because you're being hard on this. You're not placing it in the barrel like this, not at the upper end or higher levels of competition. You're going to ground it as safely and as fast as you can, and that's it. I mean, you're not gently setting them down in there.
We about had them bounce out. I've seen them bounce out.
Yeah, they will bounce out. You need to control it the whole way.
And they'll get so hot they'll stick right through the barrels.
Where's your wood gun?
It's
your
upstairs.
You kidding?
My YouTube wood gun.
You want a wood hammer?
No, that's all right. Yeah, just make sure you're in full control of it. I mean, it's everything from, let's say I've got a dump barrel here and I'm shooting.
I knew you'd take it. I should have given the straws.
What are you gonna? And let's say I'm going to transition the pistol. The difference between doing this and you be the bucket and hold this. So the difference between firing, dropping it in here, and then grabbing my pistol and going, is going to be different than if I just do this and I've already got my pistol out. You guys can see how much faster that is. You got to think about hand manipulation, getting rid of that, and getting back on target with that pistol.
And don't run past stuff as you're dumping it in. It usually falls out and points right at the people behind.
It's like Andrew said, it's a game of thousandths of a second.
It is.
Any little way you can save time, that's what the game's about.
Yeah, people lose matches with thousands of seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really do.
I don't.
So we'll get into some tips and tricks here in just a minute, but now we're going to get into that big elephant in the room, which is the shotgun.
There's nothing wrong with the shotgun.
It's the shotgun.
Oh, you doing karate chops already? Well, let me show you something.
You better go on with that nonsense.
Okay, so you can go out there with a pump and have a good time with it. And I've seen some guys run pumps faster than you can imagine. It's crazy. One of the biggest guys is Justin Moore. He can shoot a pump shotgun. He's got this one in particular, probably faster than you're going to be able to run your semi-automatic. The guy is just incredibly fast.
You shot with him at the range before,
but
IDPA,
not the right tool of the job for most people.
Oh, big Justin.
But you can do it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as shotguns go, TAC Ops Division, the maximum your tube can hold. Now, you guys can see one on the wall right there. You can see how long that extension tube is. And before anybody says, well, if you put a spreader on that, you're going to hit that. No, you're not. It's still tight. You'll be fine. 12 plus 1. That's it. Okay, 12 in the tube, 1 in the chamber.
But
that's all it can hold.
But you can only start with 9.
No, depends on the match. There are some matches that are letting you start with it completely full. But for the most part, Rick is right. Even though it can hold 12 in the tube and 1 in the chamber, most matches will only allow you to start with 9. So that's 8 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. Okay, 8 plus 1.
Yeah, which is actually pretty cool because then you can quad load as you start.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say you've got it in your hand and you know you've got 12 targets. Okay. Well, you've got 9 rounds. As soon as the buzzer goes off, and guys, you can't hold it like this and have your hands on the shotgun shells or have shotgun shells in your hand. They won't allow it. But if you know you're getting ready to start on this shotgun and you've got an array of 12, you can quad, and then you've got 13 rounds. You have 1 makeup shot on there. So, can you hand me that makeshift shotgun?
Hey, YouTube, it's just a freaking piece of metal.
Right-handed shooter, all right, holding a shotgun. You've got this way you can load, which you're going to roll it. It's going to go up under the arm. The stock is. You're going to have the ejection port up, and you're going to grab, whether you're doing doubles or you're doing quads. You don't have any shotgun shells in here, do you? Doesn't matter.
I got shotgun shells.
And you can just do a double. You can grab another double, whatever you need to do, but that's a weak hand reload for a right-handed shooter. The other one is you'll see guys, they'll actually do this, and then they'll take their strong hand and they'll load like this on their shoulder. Whatever way you do it is up to you. Don't spend weeks trying to master it because you're not going to win a 3-gun match on how fast you can load your shotgun. Not going to happen. Clint Church, one of the best 3-gunners that I've ever shot with, he used to shoot for Team Colt. We were sitting around one night and he's like, look, I don't practice quad loads. I don't mess with any of that stuff because I'm going to beat the guy on the pistol. I'm going to beat him on my transitions. If I do 2 reloads on a shotgun and the guy is a second faster on his reload, he's not going to get me on my splits for shooting my pistol or shooting my rifle. He said that's not what you need to spend months and months on trying to get it perfect. You want to be proficient with it. You need to be very proficient with it. It needs to feel almost natural. And one of the biggest things that I've seen is when guys are loading their shotgun, unfortunately, we can't do it on live, is they stop. Okay. If you've got everything right and you've got your double in your hand or your quad in your hand, it should be through and through. Okay. So a quad, you'd have 4. So it'd be 1, 2. If you stop, you typically don't get that last shot to be held by the shell holder, and then it pops back out on the lifter or pops back out, and you have a big mess in your hand.
Yard sale.
So you're going to have to do some opening up of your loader if you want to be fast of your port.
Well, that's something to think about too. When you're buying a shotgun, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yes.
Afterwards, so just because you bought a Benelli M2 or
even the Benelli 3-gun, it's not ready just to go shooting 3-gun. It's not
ready to go. The port's got to be opened up way better than what it comes stock in.
Well, let's talk about barrel length. You know, most people are going to go out, try to buy a shotgun, or they have one. It'll be a 20-inch barrel. You can do it. You can be really good with a 20-inch barrel. I don't prefer a 20-inch. I typically run a 24-inch barrel. 26 inch is okay as well. You already have that much hanging off the end of the shotgun. You're not saving anything. What I like about it, it gives me more versatility with the chokes. I can typically choke down one when the guy with the 20-inch has got to basically, he's got to be shooting a light modified, and I'm over there running basically an IC choke, and I'm knocking everything over. And it's just keeping the group a little.
Yeah, you need to hit on the chokes because that can really make or break a stage for sure.
So conversely, some guys will say, well, I like the 20s because I can kill my clays, so much faster. Clays cost a lot of money. You'll still see a lot of clays on 3-guns, but you need to make sure that you can shoot steel with that shotgun and shoot it very quickly. So with that being said,
choke tubes.
Matt just hit on a great point. Chokes. You're going to need a good selection of chokes. Now, I'll probably overdo it, but you look at every stage and figure out what's going to work best. I use pure gold chokes exclusively, and they're extended like this, so I don't need any tools or anything, and I love pure gold. I've ran Briley's and everything else, but pure golds just print well, especially when you're doing paper patterning. So one of the ones you're going to want is a spreader. Let's see if this will focus. Okay, so a spreader, some people call them
cylinder.
Yeah, spreader is actually a little more open than a cylinder. Or you can actually run it without. I actually did a video on it. You don't need anything for your most open pattern. You're not going to hurt your threads or anything else. So if you have to have one and you only get to choose one, light modified, you're going to be able to shoot almost every single 3-gun match with that single choke right there, a light modified LM.
30 yards.
Now, you're going to be a little slower and you might have to take a little bit more time on smaller steels, but you'll knock them over with authority with the light modified. Light modified's the do-it-all choke. And then you got the IC, improved cylinder. And then this one in here is going to be a modified, okay? This is when I need to reach out there. I've never had to shoot anything harder than modified. I don't carry a full or anything like that.
Remember a couple Clinton House matches where we've had to shoot light mod to reach out?
Yeah, mod's tighter than light mod.
Okay, mod.
So those 4 chokes, I always have at least a set of those with me.
And then improved modified's tighter than modified.
Yeah. Also, you can shoot slugs through this. It's not going to blow up your shotgun. You'll be fine even with the modified. As far as slugs, do not go out there with a 1500 with a black cloud. Well, you don't need any of that stuff. As far as your shot, you want 7.5 or 8. That will do the job. 7.5 or 8. You can use 9 if you want it, but I think 7.5 or 8 will cover almost everything. 2 3/4 inch. And somewhere around 1,200 feet per second, but your shotgun will tell you what you can run.
Yeah, you're going to know.
And it'll let you know right away.
Yeah, if it starts jamming, you've got the wrong something, okay? Yeah. I try not to badmouth, but I'm just going to tell you from past experiences, and maybe things have changed. A lot of guys, the very first thing they'll do is they want to get in the 3-gun. They'll buy a JM Pro or a, Jerry
Did you
Mitchell
say
Mossberg.
Jam-O-Matic?
And I've seen more issues with that particular shotgun. If you've got one that runs, great. Great. Good for you, because that's not the norm. The biggest issue I saw with that shotgun is the extractor will pull it'll pull through the back of the shell. And then now you have a stuck empty hole in the chamber. Your fingernail can't get it. You're going to have to get a knife or something like that. And you're just sitting there killing time. This is not 10 occasions. This is not 20 occasions. Remember, being a match director, I used to see it time and time and time again. Hopefully they've changed that. I've even seen guys where they've opened up their chambers. In particular what I'm talking about. If you had to go with a shotgun and you're trying to do it on a budget, the Stoker 3000 is a very, very good shotgun.
That's what I started with. It was a great shotgun, actually.
And then the Benelli M2 kind of rules the roost.
It does, but they all need a little tweaking. I think the Stoker out of the box versus the Benelli, because most of these Benellis other than the 3-gun are M2 fields. So you got to dump the mag extension, the oversized charging handle. You got to do the works to it,
HRM says you need a supply of Federal High Brass double-aught buck. Funny you should mention that. In all of the years of 3-gun matches that I've shot, I've only been to one match ever that I've had to have double-aught buck. They don't allow it. Typically, you're going to either have slugs. For my slugs, I run the Federal low recoil. Fiocchi also makes a good slug, the low recoil, because you want something. It's not uncommon to shoot steels at 50 to 100 yards. We did one that was over 200 yards with shotgun slugs. Yeah. But as far as
you actually need to get a 0 with your slug on a shotgun. So there's some time involved getting the 0s for the rifles and everything else, and your pistol for if you're changing ammo. People don't. There's a lot of times people just put the slugs in and they think they're gonna hit, and they're not.
We did a video about that. Take like a third IDPA, go out at 50 yards and shoot. And if you're on that bead and you shoot and it's high right, then you need to aim low left and try that at 100, because that's not uncommon at a major match to see those kind of distances out of your slug. The one video that I did when we shot out at Rock Castle before it shot down, when I went there with Bryson had fallen down and gotten DQ'd. That was probably the most intense. I mean, I've never seen slug targets that far and that small, and so many of them. We went through an ungodly amount of slugs.
Wow. Normally it's like you just take 2 boxes of 5 with you, and you might shoot 7 of them.
Yeah. I think we went through 30 something the first day.
Good.
There was one stage that had like 10 slug steels on it. Just one stage.
Wow.
And I was like, holy crud, I hope
Did
we
you
brought it
talk
up.
about candy caning and maybe not such a great idea?
I did not.
So candy caning is basically you come up with this plan in your head. I'm gonna engage these targets with a shotgun, then these ones, and then I gotta shoot a slug on that steel, and so on, right? Well, you need the way you load your shotgun before you start the stage, you may put slugs in there. The problem is if you shoot the slug and you're not shooting the blue.
Yeah.
So if you thinking you got everything down the way you want, and then all of a sudden you miss and you engage that target, now your whole count's screwed up. And more than likely, you have the possibility of getting like a stage DQ, a DQ, other than like just big, huge safety problems, shooting slugs at a target that's not supposed to be hit with a slug.
Yeah, this is all during your pre-stage.
Yeah,
stuff,
so
man.
it's candy caning.
It works. You just
it's pretty dangerous unless you're on top of your game. So if you want to go home early, that's usually one of the ways it'll happen.
I should have loaded right here.
Yeah.
Crap, that's a slug. Fire off in the woods.
Yeah, because if you're gonna shoot a slug, so say you're going and you get screwed up, or say they're just all birdshot, and then you're like, basically you need to put one in, then shoot, and then your next one's gonna be the slug.
I've messed it up. I've not gotten DQ'd. I realized there's a slug coming, and I missed the target, and I either rack it out or just burn it.
So I don't know what Ray's doing, but he's got the board of knowledge.
Playing Candyland.
Yeah. Are you going to tell us what the hell's going on here?
Okay, so I just drew something very quickly. Let's just say, and guys, on the stage description, if it doesn't say you can't do it, then you probably can. So it might say something like shooter's heels on the start line. So meaning you have to be right here to start. And I'm not going to draw in walls and everything else, but these little V's right here, we're going to say these are clay targets. Okay.
Smoke and Cash, my daughter drew that.
And let's say that those are clays right here. And then you've got 2 paper targets. You have a plate rack here. You have another paper. And it says place long gun of choice in dump barrels, start with any gun in hand. That's it, or whatever. We're just saying something simple. Well, you can't shoot pistol only on this entire course, okay? Because you can't shoot clays with your shotgun. So you have to at least pick up your shotgun for 5 clays, okay? Now, let's say this isn't wide open where you can just stand here and blast all of these. Let's say
there's walls and stuff.
They're going to have walls and block you out where you've got to go to certain locations.
Little hole ports.
To shoot that. Well, if you're a really, really good shotgunner, you might say, you know what? I can run this whole thing. I'm trying to get that stupid circle out of here.
Not going to happen.
So
I
did it. All right. So you might say, well, I'm a good shotgunner. I'm going to start with my shotgun in my hand. I'm going to go
slug on paper.
I'm going to go clay, bird, clay, bird, clay, bird, clay, bird, clay, bird. And then I want to have 2 slugs so I can kill this, right? And maybe you got to do it from this location. And then all I got to do is while I'm moving and working my way forwards, I can go ahead and load 3 more slugs, kill these right here, and finish up with bird shots on this plate rack. You could shoot this entire thing using only your shotgun, okay? But then there's going to be some guys that's going to take their rifle and they might put it here in this dump barrel. And when the buzzer goes off, they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the clays. They're going to dump. And you can occupy 1 dump barrel with 2 long guns as long as you're abandoning 1. So you might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pick up your rifle, pop, 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 pop. And as long as this is a rifle plate rack, then you're good to go. Or you could drop your rifle here and pick this up with pistol if you wanted to. That's the beauty of 3-gun. You can go to a stage, something simple like that I just drew in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and 20 guys will come up
with 10 different plans and how to do it.
Gun, or you can run all 3.
Yeah, and it's really up to you on how you run it. But that's the beauty of it, is seeing how people think and how they do it. And then sometimes you see a guy run it and he's 20 seconds faster than anybody else. You're like, I want to see how he freaking did that. and then you see it. He finds that one little hidden spot where he can just chew off everything without even having to move. They exist.
Yeah.
Match directors can't find all of them. Stage designers.
That's the reason why there's the terminology of gaming it.
Correct.
It's not so much gaming it, it's just
finding the fastest way to do it.
The guy came up with a better idea than you did.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. One of the things I do want to caution you on, though, is if you've got a good, solid game plan, be careful conferring with your friends or one shooter down and you're next, changing it because you saw that guy do it. That is horrible, okay? I've mentioned this before on the channel.
It's probably going to go wrong.
Yeah, all kinds of wrong.
Yeah.
What you need to do is be able to, because so typically when you get there, the RO is going to say, all right, stage brief. Everybody comes around and goes, shooters place feet on heels or heels on the start line, engage targets as they appear. Any questions? 5 minutes, go. So everybody will kind of start air gunning and walking around and seeing what it looks like, dumping it here. At that point, with your 5 minutes, that's not time to be chatting with your friend about tasing each other, last night on the chat. You need to be able to close your eyes and say, all right, I'm going to be here. I'm going to start with my shotgun. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the clays. I'm going to dump that. I'm going to grab my rifle. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deep, and then the plate rack. Okay.
That's exactly what it looks like.
And you should, and that's exactly what it looks like. You should be able to do that for every single stage and know it. Now, some of these regional and national level matches are, lack of a better word, guys, they're a pain in the dick. I mean, you can think that it's the absolute, I've got it up here.
Oh, the Nationals was horrible.
And then, the USPSA Nationals, they threw a ringer in on us because USPSA,
too much going on.
They have different shape papers for what you can shoot. And I was like, what is this? I have never
they had
seen
the turtles. They had the turtles, and I think it was rifle only, right? Or something like that. Yeah,
turtles were like rifle only. The other ones were everything else.
So then you're coming around the corner and you see cardboard and you're like, oh, wait, I can't shoot with that. I think
that's not a turtle. That's a man. No. So like I said, you just need a well planned out execution on how you want to do this and stick to it.
It gets even crazier. People will pace it off and they'll walk off like, okay, I need to reload my pistol at this point, and I'm 10 steps in from the right target.
Correct.
It gets wild.
You have to actually make mental notes, especially if you're doing reloads and you don't know, because a reload cannot always be in the same spot, because you might end up having to take 3 shots at this, or maybe 3 shots at this, or maybe you knew that you didn't hit this, or maybe you started on the plate rack. Who knows? What I'm saying is you should, once you have your game plan, say, I need to do a reload while I'm moving from here to here. I might still have 10 rounds in my pistol, but what I don't want to do is run out trying to engage this, and I got 6 and 3, and I take 2 extra shots here, and now I'm down a round, and I've got to reload. Your fastest reload is never going to be as fast when you're dead-footed right here than if you're moving and you've got to cover this ground anyway, to go ahead and force your reload right here.
Yeah, that's when you want to reload, when you're running or moving.
Guys, this is not IDPA. They don't give a crap if you drop a loaded magazine on the ground, okay? This is not defensive pistol. This is get it done as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah, it's not tactical driven.
Shit on the ground.
And I heard some comments in the past about, I don't like 3-gun because it's sloppy. It's sloppy. There's no precision to it. Bull crap. You're just not shooting the right matches, okay? Because they've gotten to the point now where they're starting to stretch smaller steels for pistol way out there, and they're starting to stretch the distances, 400 to 600 yards on 10-inch steels, 12-inch steels. And when you start adding wind into that with your little 5.56, it can get quite hairy. So
with a dot.
Dot or with a low power. So, there is precision there. Now, there are other ways to play it, too. Remember, we talked about 1 in the center or 2 anywhere? If you don't have to do a reload and you go 1 in the center.
Especially if the stuff's really close and you're going to get something in the center.
Correct.
You're like, oh, I can go all the way to here without reloading.
Yeah. I've seen that a lot.
And then
Rob's a big fan of that.
Yeah, I want to see if
how you doing, Richard?
Something. Yeah, there's enough room.
Let's see. Not sure, to be honest, apparently.
That rail.
There you go.
Are you going to use that over? Yeah, Jason Hunt's right. When the beep goes off, a lot of people forget their plan.
Correct. Until you get used to doing it a lot, because a lot of times you're just waiting on that beep. But yeah, for the most part, especially guys that are new to it, as soon as that buzzer goes off, it's like they actually hesitate. They don't even know which way to go.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you should already be running
towards
wherever you need to go.
Holes in the cardboard. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here's another example that I want to talk about. I'm sure you guys know it. We're going to pretend that we have targets forward of Matt here. Matt is the corner. Okay. But I've got 2 targets here. But I've got to go over there as soon as I get done. What I probably don't want to do is when that buzzer goes off, try to go boom, boom, boom up close. And then over here, boom, boom, boom. Let's say I got 2 targets down there. And now I'm backing away and going off this way. If I can, what I want to do is double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. I've got to make this ground up anyway. I don't need to be super accurate. I just need to I could throw rocks and hit those targets. Anytime you can get in a position and be basically backpedaling out of that position and still gaining ground,
you're saving time.
You're saving time. People will try to argue that, but your best shooters will always do that. Don't automatically assume you've got to take the closest stuff that's right there in your face first, because you can save a ton of time, 3-4 seconds sometimes. And you start adding those up, and those compound into huge leads over people.
Well, and a lot of times too, people will put their rifle or the pistol into a port. Then when they go to the transition, they got to come out and over, where they could have just stood here and did this and that.
Yep, and that's a good point. That's basic fundamentals. You guys know that. Don't crowd your cover. Unless you need a specific angle where you're going to have to penetrate into that port, don't go into the port. Stay off of it. Make sure you can extend your pistol, extend your rifle, and never have to get into it. What's that?
Nothing. Being stupid.
Zero chocolate at 419.
So, it's all about sharing knowledge on this. And, another thing that you can do is you can have a gunsmith, put a 60-degree dovetail on your rib of the shotgun, and that'll help always get that thing lined up like a rifle.
For your slugs.
It will help quite a bit. You can use a Ruger like a 1022 flip up. That's what I do on mine, and just had one cut in. Just something that gives you a second reference point.
It actually works nice.
Anything else, guys?
I wouldn't know what to do with that. Match.
If you're looking for a match, Shaggy had put it up earlier, but if you're looking for any style of shooting match, check out Practice Score. Go over to Practice Score and find something local. You can basically punch in your area. You can see what type of matches are being held. And that's the good thing about Practice Score is it's not just 22 rimfire or PRS style stuff. It's basically everything. Steel challenge.
Shaggy Rifleman hit right on it. He had the link for Practice Score on there.
Oh yeah.
He's fast. And DP Gunworks. Kenny's on here as well.
Oh, DP Gunworks. There you go. That's another channel sponsor. DPGunworks.com. If you guys are interested in building a really badass bolt gun, get over and talk out.
Just in my bag, this is what I carry in shotgun holders. These are by Invictus Practical. There's a ton of different companies.
Did you bring your bra?
No, I did bring my bra. So here's one that basically, if you do the math on this, is going to hold 12 rounds. And this one's set up so it can be vertical. And it's going to be on my left side since I reload with weak hand or support hand, as some people would say. That's going to be your typical 8 caddy. I like these a lot. Have a couple of those, and then one like this that'll actually hold 6. These are really good for slugs, because a lot of times on slugs you might only need 1 or 2, and it is okay if you throw 2 in there. You always want to plus 1 up, guys.
You can burn one.
So let's say you decided on this scenario here that you wanted to hit these 2 with slug for whatever reason. Don't go with 2 slugs, okay? At least have 3. So if you do, you're not going to load 3 quickly, so just go ahead and do a quad, and you could shoot at this and this. You still have 2 spares, and just burn it in the direction of the target. Don't burn it in the air. Don't burn it in the ground in front of you. Just burn it in the direction of the target. Just get them out of there, because you don't want to shoot steel with those slugs. You'll be going home.
Yeah, you want to make sure that there is no.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say these 3 paper right here. That way you could go slug, 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 and have 1 extra. You could burn it before you engage.
You can go 5 slug on paint.
Yeah, or vice versa.
Slug. Top it off.
Yeah, if you bring lots.
Lifesaver. The Magpul, the D60s, these are allowed in most of your TAC ops. now because of basically the length adheres to everything.
Yeah, it's the same as a
yeah, and if you have a good one, you have a good one. Make sure you check it in your gun because a lot of your custom billet ARs won't accommodate this, but some of them will. You just have to make some modifications. But these are actually really good.
Usually they won't seat in the rifle, right?
Yes, if you have some kind of funky magwell / custom billet lower, it's not going to fit. Stay away from Surefires. Surefire 60s, Surefire 100s. 100s aren't going to be allowed anyway, but those are hit or miss as well. And I've seen more failures with those stupid Surefire D60s, or not D60, but the Surefire 60 than anything else. So
cleaning. Make sure your stuff's clean before the match. You're going to spend money on fuel. You're going to spend money on entry fees, maybe flights. It gets expensive. So don't show up with oh yeah, I've got 3,000 rounds on this AR. Well, that's just asking for possible failures.
This is ancient for you guys.
Ancient
three gun a long time ago. This was basically they call this a 1x4, and it holds 4 shotgun shells just horizontally. I can load super, super fast with this, and I'll usually carry this slugs on my strong side. Because if I need slugs, or if there's that option, I can have it over here. It doesn't take up much space. I can grab all 4 and go 1, 2, 3, 4 just with this hand. But if I'm only going to need 2, I'll just grab 2 while I'm on the move, and I can burn them out. But I do like that. So you want to have options and practice, train with it.
Hey, Vanessa, yeah, Foco 65. This is an expensive sport. You're talking 3 firearms. Remember, it's really not any more expensive. I was kind of thinking about this before we did the chat tonight. If you're doing long-range precision shooting, you're getting kestrels, you're getting spotting scopes, you're getting tripods and all the bags.
But I mean, if you're rolling around with a $3,000 to $5,000 handgun, you got another $3,000 in an AR, another $2,500 in a shotgun, plus your optics.
Yeah, it's the most expensive by far because of the ammo and everything, and you make it as expensive as you want. But even if you had cheap firearms, maybe you already had them, you didn't have to buy anything, you still had to buy a lot of ammo or have it. So there was the thing I needed to mention about open division. You want to talk expensive? That's expensive. If you want to be competitive in open division, you're going to have to spend huge money. If you're just getting into it because that's what you have, then so be it. Or if you're just that guy, and I've seen this before, I'm going to run my red dot on my pistol, and I don't give a crap what division they put me in. I've seen it time and time again, and you can absolutely do that. They don't care. It's just if you have one thing that's not in compliance, it's going to bump you up into that next division.
Yeah.
No ported barrels of any kind on pistol, shotgun, or it's going to throw you into open division. Be aware of that because there's a lot of guys that have semi-automatic shotguns that have porting on the end of the barrel. That's immediately going to throw you into open division. Yeah. Any dot on your pistol,
just tape it up.
Any dot on your scope, they won't let you do that either.
Just duct tape that.
It's going to put you in open. In order to be competitive in open division, you're going to want an open gun, something with a dot, something with a choo-choo train muzzle brake on the end of it.
Yeah,
shoot as flat as can be.
Shotgun's going to have a mag about that long.
Yeah, you'll probably be shooting a Dissident or something like that.
30 round freaking. What is it?
$4,000 to $5,000, and you might say, "Well, I've got this Turkish." It's not going to run. It's not going to run as fast as those Dissidents will. That's kind of like the standard.
Those things are freaking like sewing machines, man. Just tuk, 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 tuk.
But
they're impressive.
They're when they run well.
Here we go on the rifle. You can have multiple optics, red dots. You can use a bag. You can use a bipod. You cannot have a bipod on TAC ops.
No bipods.
No bipods of any sort. You can't use any type of bag. So those guys usually make their long range shots pretty quickly because they are on a bipod. Remember, you're going to be shooting off really awkward positions, rooftops, trucks.
So when utilizing that, I believe they have to keep it the entire time on the rifle.
On open division, no. You can do whatever the crap you want to do.
You can bring the kitchen sink with you.
Yeah.
You could bring the kitchen sink. Oh, let's talk about caddies. So not only do you have all this crap that you're going to be having fun with, but you got to figure out how to get it to the stages. So some people will bring bags. So you have like a shotgun bag and a rifle bag with your pistol in it. Some people will have baby strollers. Some people will have that have been customized to hold all their rifles. some people have a big ass wagon, size of a small Buick, and
the best matches will let you drive stage to stage
with fans. And I'm not even kidding right now. Fans in it and ice chests and all sorts of crap. Some stages, some places will let you bring like a 4-wheel like a side-by-side kind of thing.
Got the gun racks.
I've seen probably $100,000 gun caddies driving around. What else do they got out there? There's a lot of different ways to bring all your junk to the stage. A lot of people have umbrellas because it's hot. Something to have some shade, especially if you're
bug spray.
Oh, ear pro
rain gear,
form over the ears. What I'm meaning is like the form fitted ones work a little bit better, I think.
Now let's get into the housekeeping. If you're there shooting, unless you're the on deck shooter, just shot, or the shooter in the hole, you should be pasting and helping reset. Do not be that person that's hanging out by the truck on the pickup truck tailgate, BSing with your buddies, and you've got
cooking lunch.
Yeah, or cooking lunch or doing whatever. You need to be out there helping reset because that'll make everything go a lot smoother. It's a lot of extra work on the RO, staying on time if you're not doing your part.
Trust me, people will be very MFing you in their mind
and some people will just outright say it.
Yeah,
they really will.
Because if it's happening every freaking stage, it's you're not being part of the team and you're basically being a pain in the butt.
With all that being said, the next 3-gun match that I will be attending, you guys are invited if you want to do it. Going to be some great shooters there. Keith Garcia, some of the big name guys will be there. It is the Microtech Pro-Am 3-gun championship. That is actually going to be held in Clinton, South Carolina, and it is September 24th through September 26th. It is a 3-day event. It is a Pro-Am format. So what ends up happening is you sign up as a pro or you sign up as an amateur, okay? Rick will have to sign up as a pro if he shoots it. He is
shooting it, but
if he were shooting it, because he is getting something from a vendor, because he's sponsored by Vortex, they're sending him products or goods. Or if you finish in the top, 25% at matches, that's going to put you in the pro division. Amateur would be somebody that's got experience, but they're not a sponsored shooter. They've never gotten anything like that. And you really want to have that line there, because what they do is once everybody signs up, they'll just pick a name, and it could be Keith Garcia or Jerry Mitchell, and they're going to pair you up with an amateur, okay? So there's going to be a ton of different squads, but let's say you're on squad 1, and let's say you're paired up with Jerry Mitchell, and he is your pro. What they'll do is they'll have, and you might be in a different division, they try to pair like divisions up so you can see it done the same way.
Yeah, because that's a big difference.
But you go to the stage, and let's say there's 5 pros, 5 amateurs. It's a 10-man squad, okay? All the pros go first. Now, you get to watch how the pros do it, and they're not going to all do it the same way. You have to come up with your game plan, but your pro will actually talk to you, help you with stage planning, and then when it's your turn to shoot, your pro can do everything except pull your trigger.
Yeah.
If you need magazines, there's your mag. If you need shotgun shells, here you go. You can do everything but pull the trigger for your amateur.
Pull left edge and center.
They can coach you. They can spot for you. They can do anything, and it is an unbelievable format. They always, cook food at the end and everything else. They have a huge prize table. That's a great match. So if you guys are interested, it is the Microtech Pro-Am 3-gun championship. And that is September 24th to 26th.
Yeah, it'll be pretty awesome if you guys are in the area.
And then Memorial 3-gun, I don't miss that match. That
October.
That is a great match. It's in October, and it is
hoping to get on that one.
They choose 10 Gold Star families from Special Operations. So there are 10 Special Forces soldiers that have died, and then the money that they raise from that goes towards those 10 families. They get a check cut right then and there just just their way of saying thank you and helping out. That match sells out in a couple minutes. Rick signed up.
I'm on a waiting list,
and he's number 40 on the waiting list.
I think that thing sold out in what?
It's
like
just a few minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes is done.
Yeah, it was done. So those are some big 3-gun matches that we'll be doing here in the near future, and then we have.
So it's not all long range,
but there is long range.
No, I'm just saying because we do a lot of long range.
Oh yeah,
we do shoot other stuff.
Yeah, a lot of other stuff. What else can we talk about 3-gunner? If you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask, and we'll do our best to answer them.
Yeah.
I know it was very long-winded. It was a lot of information. It was drinking from a fire.
Like I've said before, if you guys are thinking about, and I'm not talking 3-gun, I'm talking about any style match, sign up for it. We talked to a guy today. I won't say his name. Half the reason is I can't remember his name. But we went to the gun show today, and we met an individual. And he's like, man, I really want to shoot that. I really want to shoot a match. And we're like, well, there's one coming up, and there's like one spot left. Why don't you sign up for it? What did he say? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or, I'm not going to do
I'm going to miss every target.
Yeah. I'm like, just go sign up. Have fun. Who cares if you do miss every target? And I talked to Willard the other day, and he's like, I'm so glad he's like, I wish I would have started earlier. And that's how you learn. You got to go and do it.
Yeah.
You really got to just go and do it.
It's just getting that push to get in.
Well, it makes it easier when you have friends to go with.
It is.
People that can help you.
Yeah, but you're going to meet friends out there.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'll meet people.
Here's a question from Johnny Wad.
What's up, Gamaliel?
What's up, Gamaliel? Opinions on Boyd's at 1 stock. Stocks. Opinions on Boyd's at 1 stocks. I don't even know what that is.
Boyd's make stocks. I've used some Boyd stocks before, but I don't own any anymore. I can't speak to what they're running right now or what they have.
For a new shooter, would you get the cheaper Kestrel that's like $300 to $400, or this the 5700 Elite? Is it worth the wait? You want the applied ballistics one.
Yeah, you want applied ballistics.
And really, nowadays, you really want the link as well. Because at some point, you may decide you want something to talk to it. You might want your Kestrel to talk to your binos or something else. Or maybe you got a HUD system that you want to do. Or whatever the case is. It's like it'd be like right now buying an Apple 4. You know what I mean? Like, don't buy something that, like, try to stay with the times, because it's only going to get. They actually have a 5700X out now. Rick has shown amazing discipline in this live stream. Not a single sweet tea gulp yet. I know it has been hard. It's right here, my man. Right here.
The withdrawals are real.
Yeah, you know what?
Dang, you guys bought a lot of them shirts. I appreciate each and every one of you. Holy crud. I got a bunch of orders to fill. I'll try to get those out Monday morning, but I'm glad I was able to finally bring those to the channel.
They're actually good looking. And they it's at
What do you mean they actually are? Did you expect anything?
When I was on Surviving Man, the owner from Nightline Apparel was there. Got a chance to meet him, and then of course one of the employees was there that provided the shirts. And I said, I want that shirt with my logo. And they said, we can do that. And we've been waiting this long. It took them about 3.5 weeks to fill them. And I didn't want a cotton shirt. Really wanted something. I mean, the things are so silky smooth.
What is this stuff?
It's the Sport Tech.
Sport Tech. Yeah, it's got a really good feel to it.
But either way, thank you. And I appreciate the support.
This is well said by Ryan Fixer. When a guy says he wants to shoot his first match, what he really means is, I wish I was good enough to shoot a match. You're good enough to shoot a match even if you've never even practiced for a match.
Correct.
Ask me how I know.
Just be safe. That's the biggest thing.
Safe. Ask me. All you got to do is tell them this is your first match. They'll help you out. Trust me, we see it all the time. What's nice about being your first matches, and I'm kind of going back to the PRS style shooting, the spotter or the RO will be like, hey, you're shooting low, or he'll help you out in some sort of ways. You know what I mean? Where he wouldn't normally do that for the guy that shot his few matches. So
the other one is tack, 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 tack. And the RO says, if you are finished. And he delays that if
Yeah.
that means you're forgetting something.
Yeah.
Okay.
A target.
If he goes, if you're finished unload and show clear,
Or are you sure?
are you sure you're finished unload and show clear? And now at that time, if you're sitting there processing and it takes you 20 seconds, don't shoot. Okay. At that point, just take your miss and you're fair to engage.
Yeah, don't wait 20 seconds and then go bam, and then you still missed it. And it was.
And tactically, this is good too. A lot of guys will argue this. They'll say, "Well, the reason I don't do competition in 3-gun is because tactically, it's the wrong thing to do. That's why I shoot IDPA because I want to shoot from concealed or covered position, shoot with my my shooting vest on."
There's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. However, you can train yourself to understand this right here is for fun. I'm shooting as fast as I can.
How do the shirts run size wise? I ordered a large. I shoot.
They run a little big, not much.
I wear an extra large, and if it's just like
an extra large,
yeah, an extra large would. So
yeah, they're not going to shrink.
I like them loose.
Yeah, they're not going to shrink. But what you're getting is that trigger time and understanding what your deficiencies are, whether it's the pistol, the rifle, or the shotgun. You'll learn to know your limits when you're shooting 3-gun. It is a great time. Just go out there, have fun with it, and yeah. Are you dropping magazines that are loaded? Yes, but
You're dropping everything.
Yeah, in a real world situation, you drop a magazine, pick it up, go to the next one.
How many rounds would you put in a 30-round magazine for your AR?
Don't put 30 in there. Okay. What you want to do is download that by at least 1 or 2, especially if your AR has a problem seating the magazine on a closed bolt, because you will not always be able to help me remember this.
Yeah, Shaggy, these are water.
You won't always be able to lock open your bolt and start with it that way. And that's just something else you're going to want to do if you're used to loading that way. So if the bolt's forward on an empty chamber, which is usually the case, make sure you can seat that magazine. Always give it a pull. Don't just stick it up in there and it falls out on the second shot.
And he means pull the damn thing.
Yeah, pull on it. Make sure.
Go find my first. I can't remember what it calls. First 3-gun match. I don't know how many years ago that was, and you will see some of the things that you never want to do.
And always wait for the RO to tell you to load and make ready.
Yeah, never ever insert a magazine, empty, loaded, or anything into any weapons platform until you are given the command by the RO to load and make ready.
And you'll be that guy shooting at that time.
There'll be a lot of times.
Other than that, you'll never have ammo.
Well, you'll be at the line and they'll be staring at you. They're like, "What are you waiting on?" Waiting for you to tell me to load. And the minute you go up there and you load, they'll jump your ass real quick.
Yeah. The other thing I want to mention is all these accessories, like bad levers. If you guys have a Magpul bad lever on your AR,
better train with it.
You better train with it. I'm not saying it's good, bad. I'm just saying you better train with it, because you show up at a 3-gun match, you get a little bit of stress going. The time that you think you're going to save with that. Well, the reason I run a bad lever is so I can lock my bolt open when the RO wants to see the clearing of the rifle. If that's the only reason, that's the wrong reason to have a bad lever on your AR.
There you go.
What typically happens, you'll inadvertently close the bolt. You're trying to do a reload.
Yep.
And now you're going to have to do it again. So just make sure you train with it. The other thing about those bad levers and all these extensions that go in your trigger guard is they typically loosen up over time. If you're going to put them on there, make sure they fit well and that they are Loctited.
I've seen people shear them off.
Foco65 said, "Oh man, I reminded me. I watched that video prior to my first match, and it was like, WTF? How does that happen?" Well, went to shoot pistol and my freaking mag fell out.
Yeah. So things happens. Look at it as training. If you want to go out there with your concealed carry pistol, maybe your trunk monkey that you keep in your vehicle, do it.
Yeah,
you'll only get better.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is the stage planning.
Yeah.
That's
compared
the part that kills me.
This PRS or
that's why I like
stuff.
PRS.
You don't have to think.
I go, okay, there's 5 red dots.
Yes.
There's still thinking, getting the wind and all that, but compared to like figuring out where you're gonna be, where you're gonna reload at, all that.
It is a fun sport. It's like I said, it's the NASCAR of gun shooting.
Yeah, it is. It is. We just wanted to do this because we know there were a lot of people that have been answering a lot of questions about 3-gun. It is an odd time to be getting into 3-gun. I mean, today there was a gun show locally, and we swung by there, and they were selling federal, like, just bulk white box, and I
Crap
saw
ammo.
it for $40 a box
Yeah.
of shotgun shells. I mean, this is stuff we used to buy for $3 and $4 for a box of
Y'all want me
25.
to shoot?
It was
Couldn't afford to
$25.
shoot
No, it's
3-gun
40.
match right now.
It was $45 for 100 rounds of shotgun
Yeah.
shells. Just crap ass bird shot.
If you're interested in that Microtech match, the match director is, they will have ammunition where you can buy it. I don't know what the price is, guys. I have nothing to do with this, but it's, I don't know, it's like $250 and it covers all of your AR, 9mm, and 12 gauge shotgun.
Yeah.
Don't shoot a 20 gauge. It's 12 gauge shotguns, what you want.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good deal, actually.
Yeah,
I
it was
know.
something like
Cover
that.
all of
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
yeah,
that's
no.
actually pretty darn good.
You need
Better than gun show price. That's
And what you don't shoot, you get to take back with you. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's actually a really good event. So I know it's a little off topic of what we normally talk about.
I'm looking forward to it, actually. Good reason to get back into shooting some pistol.
Yeah.
Doing some reloading.
What I don't like to do, me personally, I'm going to ask you guys this. So we got really hot and heavy on this rimfire stuff, right?
Yeah.
Dude, as soon as we get done with this finale next month, I'm laying the rimfires down for a while. I am. Because what's the first thing that you said when we went out to Burris? I gotta shoot some pistol. I haven't shot my pistol in so long. I don't even know when the last time I picked my pistol up. And so, it's one of those, and you guys hear this ad nauseum. Everybody talks about it being a perishable skill, but there's never been a truer statement. It really is. You'll find yourself being rusty and not, being smooth with your transitions. And yeah,
it'll come back a little quicker if you've had it.
Yeah.
But it's rusty.
I like to mix it up. I don't like to just do one discipline.
No, it was good to shoot the pistols again.
Yeah, it actually felt good.
Yeah, it felt good.
It felt good to shoot the carbine again.
Yeah, I haven't even touched that Lancer. And
See? Because we've been doing nothing but rimfire.
Maybe I'll shoot Mac.
Oh, if any of you guys know,
bike, man.
if you have an MPA BA hybrid that you are willing to part with and without trying to kill somebody over it or ask too much, please put them in contact with me or email me or something. I need to find an MPA hybrid chassis because I have a barrel to action that will not work with the XLRs, and I think I'm going to shoot it at the finale.
We want to shoot the Bagara.
Somebody actually called me and they said, "Why would you own a Ferrari but drive a Pinto?" I said, "Because you can." So even though it's the finale, my intention is to shoot a Bagara. But it will not work with my XLR.
The Bagara's the Pinto, because that Bagara.
That's what I said. But
the groups you lay down with that Bagara.
Yeah, but he was like, "Man, nothing's like a Voodoo," and I was like, "I agree, but I just want to shoot it. I want to shoot it with the Bagara, regardless."
I think you should.
I'm going to.
You need to find a 12-round mag, though.
We're already got the number for the extensions through Bill Sweeney. Thank you for that, Bill.
I haven't seen Bill tonight. Have you,
It's
Bill?
working.
Bill, you out there? What else?
All right.
What else?
Anyone?
Other than that, Ray's got new shirts. I still got the hats. I don't know if that guy was still on there when I did my little infomercial, but
it's like Persian silk.
It's so soft and succulent.
It's so
soft and succulent.
Why would the Bagara not work with the XLR? Just order one. Okay, so Jason, I didn't try it in the XLR JVMV Pro. I tried it in the Element 4, and in a 10-round magazine, about 2 of the rounds out of that magazine would actually just hit right on the face of the chamber. It'd shear the front leading edge of the bullet. And I don't want to take the time to keep playing around with adjustments and everything else. There are some little tricks and fixes, but I'd like to find an MPA with an adjustable. I can buy the adjustable mag catch, and I can get that height set.
You know what? I have a non-adjustable one you can use because you need to see if it'll even fit first before you get the adjustable.
I'm sure it'll fit. I mean, it is Remington 700 based action, but I was trying it on that. It's pretty much a pre-production, the Element 4.0, the one that I have. And for whatever reason, the Bagara didn't care for that too much. But that Bagara does shoot very well. I'm very impressed with it.
Yeah, I was too. I ordered the Element 4.0, Jason says.
Yeah, and like I said, mine might have been because it was kind of a prototype before they were really released. That could have been it, but you might have to play around with torquing your screws on how you're adjusting your magazines.
Send it, Rich. Welcome, KK. He's gonna have a handgun target question.
It's a long wait for an MPA.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It used to not be like that because
everything's waiting right now.
Everything.
Yeah.
They were pumping those things out.
I need to order. I want to do a little more testing on some stuff too.
I need a load for 6 Creed so I can shoot this Kenny Bell.
Hey, are you gonna shoot the freaking unknown sniper or what? Sniper's unknown?
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe? What the hell's a maybe?
Well, there's going to be a lot of people there, especially off the channel. They're going to be shooting that as well. I am 100% definitely shooting that with Tony now.
I'm already signed up.
So yeah, maybe if Gamalil's on here, just get you guys on our same squad, and maybe Kenny can come down or something. Whoever. But yeah, you don't want to miss that match.
Kenny can't shoot that one. He said.
I can't. You have to check his schedule.
Yeah.
Still at GTI, right?
Yep.
I don't think he can. There's something that came up or something. Mr. Sweeney took 12th at the Outlaw match today.
Nice. Yeah, Simmons actually won that. I talked to Simmons today.
Simmons won?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking Sexton.
Oh, yeah, no, Simmons. He said they actually listened to him, made the targets a little smaller, made it a little more challenging.
They got trophies.
Be on the East Coast come
first, second, and third.
Oh, Gamma Mill will be on the East Coast come August.
Nice.
Altus has been getting the MPA chassis pretty regularly.
Yeah, keep checking with Altus. They always have a good flow.
They do have usually a pretty good stock
of everything.
Except the Matrix when I was trying to get a Matrix. Simmons didn't miss a single target. Yeah, there's a reason for that. He's a damn good shooter.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I tell you what, I do not know how that rifle prints freaking groups like that at 300.
I don't know.
There is no way in hell any of my rifles, 22 long rifles would do that. No way.
Custom voodoo magic.
Simmons, yeah. Buddy doing the NRA test. At 21 feet, keyhole dead center. Oh, this is his question. Okay. Doing the NRA test at 21 feet. Keyhole dead center at the 45 foot. All to the left and shotgun. I think it's an eye issue. Happens with the red dot as well. Here, can you make more sense?
I'm reading it.
All right. Learn to run a bad lever, Andrew says.
Yeah, I don't know, Richard. Might want to look at the grip. At your grip.
Is the T causing nerve vibrations, Rick? I don't know. It's causing my belly to swell.
Fusking said when his Bergara worked, it worked well.
Well, it's going to be nice. So you're shooting a steel barrel. How long is that barrel?
If anyone thinks IDPA is tactically correct, I have a bridge to sell you. I like that, Andrew. That's good. We'll see you, Joaquin.
See you, Joaquin.
All three of you start a school to teach 3-gun so a guy can go knowing what to expect. Just a starter course. I've tried to get some land close where I could shoot, and it just don't happen. Where's Orion fixture out of?
I can show you what not to do.
Yeah, whatever.
I can show you what not to do.
Believe it or not, where we shoot at VOD, they actually did just that. They did a intro into 3-gun course, and there were a ton of people that showed up for that. Really surprised me because
Tim did that, right?
Yeah, Tim did. Yeah, Tim.
Especially since there's not just with the ammo thing going on. Corrected the grip as well as stiff arming, which fixed the 21 feet, pushing them to get an eye test. What up, Mr. Crazy Scotsman, Mr. Jason? Hopefully you're doing well, amigo. Let's see here. Brody. That's good. Sweeney's burning it down, Sweeney.
Burn it down, Bill.
Yeah, Andrew, I did a lot of shooting last year with the USMC, the shooting team. Super good guys. Those guys are going to run those carbines pretty darn well. It'll be a lot of fun. I hate I can't make that. I've been wanted to break that thing in.
Take a PCC up there. Y'all doing that?
No, I'm not doing PCC.
Are they doing that for Microtech, the Pro-Am? Is there a PCC division?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just TAC Ops and Open.
Keeping it simple.
Simple's PCC.
Carbine or carbine?
All right, we'll see you, Gamaliel.
Eagle Eye shooting. Did Eagle Eye get that?
Carbine or carbine? What is it? Is it a carbine or a carbine?
This is part of the.
Now I wonder how they're going to answer that. They're going to write back carbine, and no, I meant carbine. It's spelled the same way. It's a combine,
I'm going to bed.
or is it a concubine?
Combine.
This is where things take a turn.
What's the
Yeah.
thing? What is that called? When all the big riggers go together and they're all driving?
Convoy.
Convoy.
It's
there you
called
go.
convoy.
Convoy.
Convoy. It's a combine harvester.
White legs.
No, Ray doesn't want to bring out the zapper tonight.
No, that's why we're gonna put it over here.
I don't like the way you worded that. That just sounded
I don't
all
wanna
kinds of
bring out-
wrong.
I don't want to bring out the zapper tonight. Combine harvester. That's right. Well, it's been fun.
I hope it was educational.
Let me know if you guys need anything. Yeah, we need
Appreciate
a
it,
partner
Gabriel.
for Matt. We need to get Matt
She
shooting
doesn't
this
want me
damn
going.
match. Who doesn't want you going? I've been trying.
You don't want me to whoop that ass if I go to that.
Oh,
I could care, if you win, I could care two shits. You're getting a little froggy. Time to light your ass up.
No. Too tired for that nonsense.
all right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.
All right, guys, stay safe, have fun, sign up, get to your first match, and have a good one.
We'll
see
talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thanks for everybody showing up.
See ya.
Bye,